Hello and welcome to Desertopolis. Today we're going to be working with strainers and getting further into the mod pack here. So let's get out of this person mode here and take a look at the quest log. So we finished Squeezer last episode and Iron before that. And now we're going to make the strainer here. So this is a fairly simple recipe. It's a mesh, two meshes, plus the logs and the sticks, right? So pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get our materials here. So we need logs. We need sticks. We're going to need iron because we're going to use iron meshes because iron is the easiest thing for me to get right now. And we're going to want some dirt and moss balls. I think that's what we want. We're going to grab this iron here, throw that into the forge, so we get that going. All right, let's see here. So to make the strainer, we're going to need some different meshes, right? So here's all the different meshes you can make. Leafy mesh is actually kind of easy to make. Let's kind of take a look at that, right? So you take some leaves and you go like this and you get string, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Gives me 4 of that, and we can make a one more, 5 of those actually. Didn't even see the center one. So there's a leafy mesh. If you look at it, it has 96 uses, and the one that we're going to need for crafting doesn't matter. If we look at the iron, it's got 526 uses, and it just goes up and up and up. Through the different tiers. Now there's different ones. There's bamboo, string, flint, copper, and all that. Right now for me, iron is the easiest, like I said. So we're gonna go ahead and make a iron mesh times 3. 1, 2, 1. Actually, we might be able to get away with not having. Can we mix them? Yeah, we can. So we can use that leafy mesh we made and keep the iron one. That's perfect. There we go. So we have our first strainer. Let's go ahead and pop it down right here. And then put the iron mesh inside. Alright, we come back to that here in a minute. Alright, so it wants us to get to make the crystal mental chunk. And obtained using this strainer through growing menthol, whatever, so the trees. And how do you get that? So you need menthol resin, and then you put a plank through it. So let's go ahead and do that. We got the menthol resin earlier, so we can go ahead and pop that in right there. It's gonna flow kind of weird, but I have it so I can still click into it. Alright, so now we're going to want to use menthol planks here. So let's grab some of those. 1, 2, 3. That should be plenty. 16 of these. Drop those in there. And you can see it just starts processing through that. Each one will give you a chance. I don't guess it's 100% chance. There we go. There's one. Alright, so we got one through that process, and we're gonna need 9 of them to make this. So let's go ahead and wait for those to kind of churn through. Let's make 8 of these. I think should be the number I want. 32, and just throw those in there and let that process while we're waiting. Shut the door. It is dark outside. I did plant more trees, and it looks like some of them are ready to go here shortly. Alright, so we need to make mulch now. Mulch is leaves around dirt. Easy enough, right? So here's a piece of dirt, and we take some leaves and go all the way around. Mulch. Eroding salt mulch. When used on a block of mulch in the world, will create eroding water. Alright, how do you make this? You need mulch plus 2 crystals plus some stone. Alright, so let's see if we can find some stone. There's 3. There's 20. Alright, there's some stone. Alright, so let's make the rest of this into mulch, because we're going to need more than one. Save those leaves for something else. That, and then on top, on bottom, we get a piece of eroding, whatever. I can't talk today. Alright, so if we put the mulch in the ground, we take the eroding salt, right click it, we get eroding water. Let's go ahead and put that in our little bucket here for our next strainer. So while we're waiting for all that to go, let's go ahead and make another strainer here. We're gonna get, I need sticks. Why do I not have sticks? Alright, let's grab all this. Let's take 6 of these, turn 24 planks into 49 log, or 49 of those. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So we got another strainer. Let's just go ahead and set it down right there. And I need a separator block. I did not think about that. Let's just do this. Alright, and where's our eroding water? Let's go ahead and check to make sure we got all that checked off. Right, let's go ahead and put it right there. And put our mesh inside. Alright, so what does it want us to do? It wants us to make some redstone. How do we make redstone? Eroding water plus a mithril crystal. Alright, so we got 2 of those. Let's just throw that in there. Got 21 of these now, so we can go over here while we're waiting on that to churn through all that. Let's go like this. We got our block of crystallized mithril. So that gets us there. Alright, so what do we want now? We're going to want more redstone. What does this take? This takes 2 of those and a bunch of that. So let's go here. Let's take half of this stack. Let's just do this, because this is a lot of material. Alright, we only got 4 out of that, so that's not that great of a ratio, I guess. There we go, we got some redstone. Let's take 8 of those and put those in there. That'll get us the block, right? Alright, let those churn away for a moment. Trying to think if there's anything we're missing here. Stone. Oh, we good. So we need to make an energy battery. I think 2 of them, actually. Yeah, we need to make 2 of these. So we can make a generator plus a battery. And that'll give us our first power. And then we can go through here and make the different pipes and all that stuff. So if I clicked all that right, it should all be here on our checklist. Awesome. Alright, so we don't need campfire anymore. We don't need that. We don't need that. We're going to probably make more of those. We're going to take a look at the summoning block. While we're waiting on this to churn, let's do this canteen, because that is actually useful to going forward with this. Alright, let's go over here. So the canteen is just 4 leather. It gives us a empty canteen, right? We can take it in the water, and it gives us just a water canteen, right? Throw it into the furnace, and we'll get a purified water canteen here in a second. There we go. And now we have a multi-use water source. So instead of having the little around, make it easier. Alright, well, we're looking at that. I think these mithril berries, I think I can put those in the strainer. And those are going to pop out as those. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, we're not there yet. Alright, so still churning through that. So we got a few of these. We need another block of that. And then the battery takes 2 of those. And then we just need a block of redstone. Which is that. We're going to take 6 of those. And that should be a good ratio for what we need to do. Energy battery. So go right there. Grab our redstone block. Grab our energy battery there. Awesome. All right, so the battery 1 is done. We're gonna need more redstone, and we're gonna need more of this. Generator is just a furnace, so we can go ahead and make that right now. There we go, and we got our furnace, and then that turns into a generator. And we'll have to make another battery for the rest of this stuff. All right, so to make this, we're gonna need 2 blocks of redstone for that cable. We're gonna need 1 redstone there. We're gonna need a dropper, which is more of that. How much redstone do we have on us? So let's let's make 2 of these. There we go. We got our item pipes. Our fluid pipe requires a bunch of iron. Fluid. There we go. We got our fluid pipes. And if we go back over here, we're getting more of these chunks. And these need to be turned into that, unfortunately. And then we'll throw that in there. Actually, let's take that out real quick and throw these in. Because these... oh, they need a different mesh, don't they? On these, strainer requires a quartz or a gold mesh, yeah. Alright, unfortunate. Unfortunate right there. We're not quite to the gold yet. We're going to try to get to the gold as soon as we get through some of this other stuff. Alright, the pipe wrench. Easy enough to make. It was just 2 of those. And sticks. And then universal, we need more iron redstone. We need lots of redstone. So, let that keep churning away. Let's go look over here. Got 5 more coming in there. That should be closer to what we need, right? Energy pipe requires 2 blocks of redstone. And, oh my gosh, we just need 1 more piece of redstone to finish that one. You can go in there. Actually, all of you go in there. It doesn't matter right now. There we go. Got that. And then the universal pipe requires another block of redstone. You're kidding me, right? Alright, put that in there. That should give us enough to make a block of redstone. Alright, and then, if I'm not mistaken, that will complete the strainers. Now we're going to get into the Age of Gold, which requires some more blocks of all this stuff. So let's what's this one? Oh my god. Alright. That was that was annoying. Let's get some sand to block the door so we can focus on this. And of course it broke our stuff. So we got a few seconds to chill here while we fix that. Let's see, where is more cactus? There we go, and we got our hat again. I did buy from here with some of the tokens I had, some of his stuff, which gives me a little bit more durability, but I mean, it's you saw how fast that thing broke. Alright, so that should give us 4, that's 9. Go over here. And boom. And blam. There we go. We got a little bit left over too. Alright, strainers is done. I'm not going to use universal pipes anymore. Let's put all these in there. And we can see, so a strainer requires 2 of those blocks. And we don't have any of those, so there's like zombies out there. Look at that guy, he's just sitting there waiting for... Oh, we got 2 of our trees up, so that's good. Let's try to heal up, I guess. Drop that right there. So what I did is I built a stairway up the mountain here. And then right here I found some lava inside of like this like collapsed cave, sand cave thing. So I'm thinking about building a little structure up here and getting out of this area so I can get away from the villagers. Because they are more frustrating than anything. Because they just constantly open doors and stuff. Alright, so we got some more of these. Turn these into, I think it was 2 blocks is what we need to build the charger. Oh, there we go, we got our charger. Now, if we go over here, put the generator down. We put the charger on top. And we're going to need some kind of fuel to burn to generate the charger, right? And we do not have like hardly any coal left. We got a little bit of charcoal here, so that's pretty much all we got. Without having the battery is kind of, you know, a little unfortunate for us. But to turn that, we need a block of this and it'll give us blackstone, right? So that's what we're going for now. That is enough for a block. Now, luckily, this process is expensive, right? You see how long it takes to do this, but pop that in there. There's a piece of blackstone. Now, we can take out our deep slate here. We have more than enough deep slate right now. We can put that on top there, and that is going to generate what we want. So we can take this deep slate, throw it in here. So what I did is I put a hopper on top of my extractinator that feeds into that, which feeds into this chest, and it just generates materials for me. But now we got blackstone. All right, so we can take the blackstone. We can place it in a stringer. I kept trying to remember how this worked. Place a block above. Alright, we're gonna need another one of those anyway, so let's grab that. Let's make another strainer if we have enough materials for that. Iron mesh. We don't have iron. Oh, there we go. We have iron now. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. We got 3 iron meshes. Like that, we get another strainer. Pop it right there. We're at 6, 7, 8. One more, please. Do I have any more planks on me? I don't. Doesn't matter. Grab over here, grab this, turn that into a block. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it goes in like so. I'm trying to remember. And then this goes in there with the mesh. And that should become nothing. Oh gosh. There we go. Get gilded blackstone. And if I'm not mistaken, there should be some more over here. So we're going to need more than one piece, right? Alright, so from gilded blackstone, we want to take the eroding fluid plus that. So if we go over here, throw that in there, we should get some nuggets. Go throw that in there, get another one. It's just a lot of manual stuff right now. Eventually it'll go a little bit better on the manual processes, but as you can see, we're not even getting 100% right here. Alright, let's that guy just like no scoped us right then. Jeez. Alright, we're gonna let that guy chill because I don't want my armor to break. I'm getting shot once. Let's see here. There we go, got 3 more. Throw that over here. Hopefully that works. And whatnot. So we're gonna have to make another resource generator so we can have deep slate and blackstone going at the same time. We're probably gonna want to make a few of these so we can just kind of churn out all the resources we want as we want. Now I believe this mod, yeah, this mod pack has drawers, so we're gonna probably want a bigger space, right? Like, this is just a temporary little cobblestone shack to kind of make it so we can like work on this stuff, right? So there we go. We got 9 ingots, or 9 gold nuggets, which we can turn 9 of those into a gold nugget or gold bar. Jeez, I can't talk. All right, and quartz. How do we make quartz? Charger, one little one, easy enough. Into the charger. Now you can automate the charger with I believe it was pipes. I think it was pipes. Pipes or hoppers, I don't remember, but it works. There we go, we completed the Age of Gold. So let's take a look and see where we're at next. We are going to be going into the, what is this called? Automation Silicon pathway here. Now it starts getting a little bit expensive and time consuming to make some of this stuff. So you kind of want to have your, base automation going a little bit better than I have right now. Because you can definitely automate this stuff using pipes and just pipe in the stuff and pipe out the stuff kind of thing. So it's definitely something to do. We will do that eventually. Alright, I got 2 trees outside. I can afford to break these down. Drop that in there. And we need sand. Luckily there's enough sand in this place. Let's go here. So we want to make this. There we go, silicon blend. Now we can make 2 different things. So we can make quartz enriched iron, which is a fairly basic recipe right here. We can also make the Certus quartz crystal for applied energetics. And this is the recipe we're going to want here, but it requires 6 redstone. So definitely path there. And then silicon, we take the silicon blend and put it in the charger. And we can make a silicon, which is used by refined storage in A2 to make their processors and stuff like that. So we have 2 of these silicon blends, so let's go ahead and drop 1 in there. And let's see here, we got some other of those. We need, let's take half a stack of that. I think it was 6 redstone is what I needed, so hopefully we get 6. There we go, we got 7. That's perfect. And then drop that in there. Alright. So, quartz. Then we're going to need another silicon blend. We need another quartz crystal. Let's get 2 of these, I suppose. It's a little slow because of the power source. Alright, so this should give us that, which then gives us this. So we got our 5 quartz enriched crystal. If we do a use on that, you can see here it's used for all the refined storage stuff. And definitely something I probably should look into setting up sooner than later. Alright, so we need another silicon blend. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one into a quartz. Grab those. Grab those. Alright, so this one, I can't remember the recipe. Yeah, so we need another silicon blend. Perfect. Alright. Easy enough. 1 of these. I need a quartz. Thought I made 2 of these, but I guess I did not. Alright, I'll let that one cook. We don't need it right now. Here, grab that. Go here. I guess we need it now. Put another one in. And there we go. so that gets us all of those. So now we need to make an inscriber plate, which is quite expensive. We also need to make a charged quartz, so let's move some stuff around here. And you know what we can do quick? I have iron mod. Perfect. Alright, so let's do this. Let's turn these in planks, turn this into a chest. Let's do another one actually. And then let's make some hoppers. Let's move that. I need another one. Let's turn this one to a barrel, and then that's not gonna work. Not enough. Like there we go. Let's grab our item pipe here. So let's put a barrel there. Item pipe should be able to go right there. And then like that. And then take our hopper. Pop it right there. Now if let's put that in there like so. Perfect. It worked just as expected. Alright, so what do we want to do? We want to put one of those in there. What else do we need? Alright, that goes into there. That turns into that. We're going to need probably more than one of those. We need more silicon. So let's go over here. Silicon blend. Let's grab it's 4 of those. That's probably what we needed. Drop those in there. Alright, now a Fluix crystal. Drop a charged Desertopolis quartz, a crystal, redstone, and nether quartz into a block of water. Alright, so that'll be next. And then we need more iron. Alright, let's grab this block of 64 iron. Throw it into the furnace. And let's make some room here. The hopper can go in there. Mulch can go in there. There's like an Enderman walking around outside, stealing all the stuff. Looks like everything's starting to like be harvestable, so that's good. Alright, we got 6 of that now. So that is a block of iron inside of that. So go iron. And then 4 of these. That gives us the inscriber silicon press. Now we can make the 3 different processors, but we should go for this one first. So this is crystal, redstone, and that. So we have 1 redstone, 1 crystal, and we need another quartz. So let's go right here, do 1, 2, 3 of those, and that should just spit out into there. Now we have our water right here, so just drop them in the water. There we go. And it gave us 2 Fluix crystals. Now we can make Fluix dust using the inscriber, so I guess that's the new machine we have to make now. Alright, so what do we need? We need a sticky piston. Slime. We do not have slime. So that's kind of where we're stuck at now. We can do the pressure chamber. Strainers. Oh, whoa, never mind. I found a recipe. Alright, cactus in eroding fluid. Alright, easy enough. So let's grab 32 of that. This is the eroding fluid, throw it in. And we get slime balls. We needed 2 pistons, right? I think that only requires 1 each, but I'm gonna grab 4. It's not 100%, so you don't get them every time, obviously. But they're enough. Alright, so go over here. Actually, it was this recipe right here, the inscriber. So we need 2 pistons. We need more redstone, actually. So let's stop doing that. Let's do 4 of these. Alright, that should be enough to get us a little bit further. Alright, there we go. 2 of these, 1, 2. And then 2 of these. And then we need a copper ingot. I believe I have those in my backpack. There we go. Make an inscriber. Now, unfortunately, you kind of see our problem we got going on here. We don't have a room. Alright, we'll just put it right here on the floor. Alright. What does it want us to do with the inscriber? Oh, I guess inscriber was the next step. Huh. Okay. Easy enough. We just pop that in there. Kind of got around that step. There we go. We got our Fluix dust. Let's break this up because we're going to have to pick it up anyway to get the next thing. So go here, add all 3 of these to our recipe list here. Our basic process requires this, requires string. And we don't have any string at the moment, so let's go back. Let's reinitiate our... Actually, I do have string. Never mind. I forgot I already busted up a bunch of that leaves into that. So we got 8 processor bindings. Can we make any of these right now? They all require redstone. Let's make some room here. Alright, so there should be some redstone here. We need a block of menthol, which is pretty expensive, honestly. There we go. We got our raw advanced processor, our raw improved processor, and we need more stuff. All right, silicon blend. We need a quartz, so let's go over here. Let's put 1, 2, 3, 4 of those in there. All right, some are already cooking. And let's go over here, raw basic processor. Silicon blend, let's make that. And let's turn that into that. That'll process through. And we're gonna want 9 of these. Now, if we go over here, we should have a block of that, so that's perfect. Throw that in there, and we'll have some more gold here in a second or two. Oh, it looks like we might have enough for that. We go over here to this one. We still need the redstone, so 9 redstone, like that, and we got a raw basic processor. Now if we grab that inscriber we made, should unlock that, and now we need to make... just keeps going. Now we need to make all these. So the printed one, alright, so we can pop the... This gets complex, right? Pop that back down there. Where did I put the processor? I don't need any of this stuff on me. Try to free up a little bit of space here. Alright, that goes there. So we're gonna need some silicon. Probably didn't want that many of it, but whatever. Alright, so like that. Drop that in there. That's gonna give us a, what's it called? Cannot extract from any side. Oh. What's the recipe for this thing? Yeah, that's the recipe. I don't think it's getting enough power, yeah. So that's another reason why we gotta go back and make a battery, but we don't have the resources right now to actually complete that. Alright, so there we go, we got a printed silicon, which now we can use, if we go back here, right? So we need to make these 3 processors. So this is redstone plus that. Let's see, here was this, and a piece of redstone, so that'll just work on its own. We'll go ahead and take these off the favorites list as we make them. This one is redstone plus that, so we need another one of these. There's basic. There we go. That'll make 2 of those, and that'll let us finish this up. Alright, well that's processing, so we can make an energy cell, which looks terribly expensive. Consider we don't have any of that dust at the moment. We can also make that. So, got that going. We'll just wait here a second. There we go, pop that in. Bottom one, top one. Put 2 redstone in there. Alright. This should finish out the processors. There's one in there. And 2. Alright, so that knocks out that side of the tree. Now we need more Fluix dust, which comes from the Fluix crystal, which is the charged and that. So let's see what we got going on charged wise. So we got 1 charged. We got redstone. And we got 1 quartz here. So what do we need to do? Nothing in there. Nothing in there. All right. Let's put 1, 2, 3 of those in there. That'll give us more of that. And we want to charge all those. All right. So we're at 3, which might get us enough to be able to do this. So wait a second for all this to turn out. All right, so we got 4 of them, which is I guess the best we can get right now. Those should turn into 8, I guess. We can take 4 of those, throw them in there. Theoretically. No, they don't go in there. They go in the inscriber. 4 of these and the inscriber. Alright, so what are we making? We're making a popped chorus fruit, so that's one thing. And then we're going to make an energy cell, which don't think we're going to be able to make either. Alright, so we got 3 of these, 4 of these. I do have the apple for that. So we can go apple and then knock this one out. Throw that in there because I don't know what it's used for. Alright, we need the quartz glass, which is this. So we just need more of that stuff. Alright, that's easy enough. Of course, I took away the recipe for this. Right here, so that's redstone, silicon, and quartz. Do not have a lot of redstone at the moment. Let's take 10 of these. Let's do a few of those. What is that recipe? Silicon blend. Which we need more gold. There we go. There we go. Everything's kind of getting flown together here. A little bit longer than I was expecting. So we're just gonna finish this out real nice and quick. Got that. So we want, see what we can make out of this, right? Silicon blend. We're missing 1 piece of gold. There we go. Let's just make what we can of that. Then we want to make this. Make what we can of that. 5 more. And we want to charge all of those. Alright, so that'll give us 4 of those plus that. That's some dust. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so we need more. We need more. Always needing more here. Let's see here. That's going to be more silicon, but we need that. So let's grab 9 of those. Grab some silicon, grab that. That gives us 6. Alright, we're just missing redstone now. Get the glass. We need, what is this? Goes in the inscriber. That's so much waste. Just so much waste going on here. That will be 5 of that, so that'll give us the glass right here, which requires 5 normal pieces of glass. There's 1. Of course, I don't. There we go. Got glass. All right. Let's take a look at our thing. We only have 1 of these. So we need to break it down to 4 more of those. And of course you have no power. We're going to take all your coal and throw it in there. Do I have any... I don't have any cactus planks. Oh gosh. Oh, we're getting to that point. Alright, so it's a little bit more processing to go. We're gonna get that going and then we'll make these last few items. Alrighty, I think we have everything now. So, make the energy cell. So I made the glass because I was just getting this going. It's pretty easy to make anyway. Alright, we got the energy cell. Now we need to make the entropy manipulator here, which is quite a bit. We need iron. How do we not have iron on us? Because I put it in my backpack. Alright, there we go. And there we go. Silicon is done. Oh, yeah. There we go. And put that in the charger. And, well, it's not going to... It's got to sit in the charger. I don't know why. It's only staying in for a tick. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Alright, so that is, I think that. So we finished Age of Gold, Silicon, I think maybe strainers in this episode too. We're pretty far. So next we get into compressed air, and this mod pack I'm not a fan of, but it's not that hard. And I finally figured out like some of the issues I was having long term. Ages ago with it. There are some pressure relief valves so your shit doesn't blow up, so it's pretty nice. So we're gonna start that one next episode, so that'll be fun. But there we go, completing everything, getting it done. All right, thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.